Hey everybody, hope you're all doing well. My name is Steven and this is the Storytime channel. Today we have some I Don't Work Here Lady stories, and our first story of the day is by Luna's albino seal. Karen gets thrown to the dogs. Yesterday evening I was leaving the dog park, and since my younger pup was in need of some chewing toys, I decided to come by a local pet store that admits pets. Due to the time, they weren't supposed to have many customers, but I still called in advance to ask if it was okay to bring my 2 dogs with me, and they told me yes. When I came in, there were only like 2 people, no dogs, and no employees nearby, so I took my time looking around. Now, the employees have a casual dress code with jeans, an apron, and wear a face mask and a face shield. I was wearing the same, minus the apron. Also, to paint the picture, my senior dog is medium-sized and thin, but very protective of me, and my pup is a bit bigger and stronger. I was looking at the treats/chews aisle when a woman about my age approached me and asked about the birds. When she realized I wasn't an employee, she apologized, but I told her I could help her. I am a biologist and my mother works with birds, so I answered some basic questions about food and housing, and showed her a couple of websites on my phone where she could find more info. She thanked me and went on her way. As I was going back to the dog toys, an older woman/Karen carrying a small dog, like a Shih Tzu kind of thing, came up to me and started asking to have her dog groomed. I'll try to translate the conversation as best as I can since it was not in English. Hey, I need to leave my dog for a basic grooming specifics. How much will it be and when can I pick her up? I say, sorry ma'am, I don't know. You can ask an employee if you want, but I think they're closed for the day. You think? Yes, an employee would be able to answer your question. Karen, condescending tone. That's what I'm doing, hun. Now, can you do your job and help a customer? At this point, his dog had started growling at mine. My pup was a bit excited and wagging his tail, but my senior dog was staring at it, which usually means he is annoyed and running low on patience. I really don't know, I'm not an employee. Then why were you helping that woman? Because I happen to know a bit about what she was looking for. Oh, and you don't want to help me? At this point, she was raising her voice at me and her dog was full on barking. I was struggling to keep my pup still and my senior dog had started baring his teeth. So I tried walking away, but she kept getting closer. I told you I'm not an employee, so I can't help with what you need. Look, you're upsetting my dog, so please stay back. For freak's sake, just take my dog and stop wasting my time. At this point, she shoved her dog towards me. I rose my hands in front of me and reflex, and the little thing bit my finger hard, and I yelped loudly. This caused my senior dog to jump at the woman and start barking at the dog, making her lose her balance and fall down. Karen screaming bloody heck. Control those beasts, I'm going to report you. You're doing a poop job, blah blah blah. Supervisor coming from behind me along with another employee. Hey, what's happening here? Your employee threw those dogs at me when I tried to ask about grooming. She shouldn't be allowed around pets. I told you to leave us alone. I'm not an employee. Supervisor helping the woman up while the other employee is trying to pick up the tiny dog from heck. She's right, she doesn't work for us, and the groomer is gone for the day. Unbelievable. I want your supervisor right now. No need. I am the supervisor and I saw the last part. You were harassing a customer, so please get off the premises. The grooming service is closed for the day. Unbelievable. She snatched her dog from the employee's hands and stormed off, but she kept turning around to scream insults at us. In the end, I was too shaken and decided to not buy anything. The supervisor and the employee still asked to pet my dogs, who had more or less calmed down by then. Asked their names and how old they were, and offered each of them a treat for free. They explained that they were fixing an issue on the other side of the store, but came running when they heard the Karen raising her voice. By the time I left and got to my car, the Karen was gone and I could leave in peace. If you're wondering, the pups got extra treats and a lot of pets and kisses. Let me get your guys' opinions on something. Let's say a person has a dog and there's a Karen being somewhat aggressive to that person with the dog. If that Karen gets noticeably aggressive, either raises their voice to an insane degree or maybe starts stepping forward, and the dog retaliates because of that, out of obviously wanting to protect the human based on the signs of aggressions from the Karen, who do you think should be at fault in the eyes of the law? The owner because their dog acted out, maybe bit the Karen, who knows? Or the Karen for being loud, aggressive, and possibly instigating the entire thing? Let me know in the comments down below. Our next story is by C.A. Dowden. Pulled earphone from my ear and started screaming. This happened a few years back when I was fresh out of university, so about 21 or 22, and shopping in a popular low-cost clothes store. I had just finished work and went in to pick up a few shirts, socks, etc. The staff in this place generally wear dark jeans and a bright t-shirt, and I think the supervisors wear a smart/casual getup. I'm wearing a suit, I've got a backpack on, and listening to music on earphones. So, in my opinion, I 100% don't look like I'm one of the staff, and the added backpack and listening to earphones are dead giveaways that I'm a customer and not an employee. As I'm browsing and picking up a few things, I notice someone stand near me from the side. I assume that I'm in the way of someone, so I make a movement to step away and carry on browsing. A moment later, I feel a sharp tug on my ear as my earphone has just been ripped away from it. I turn around and the following happens. Obviously not word for word perfect, but pretty close. What the? Why have you ignored me? I am at a loss because I don't recognize her. I didn't realize I was ignoring anyone, and my earphone has just been ripped out of my ear and is in her hand. I'm sorry, I don't know you. I wasn't ignoring you. Yes, you were. I have been trying to get your attention for a while now, and you keep walking away and ignoring me, and you shouldn't have earphones in. Right, okay. I still don't know you. Did we speak earlier today at the hotel? I had been at a small event at a nearby hotel that morning. No, I want to know where I can find the shoes, hats, jewelry. Whatever it was she wanted, I don't remember. I have been trying to get your help and you kept ignoring me. I know you heard me, you were just being lazy and not helpful. Okay, right. I reckon the whatever are upstairs and probably on the left. At this point, I'm still not sure what's going on and think this woman is just slightly confused and incredibly rude. What do you mean they are probably there? How incompetent must you be? How stupid are you that you lie to customers? What is your problem, lady? I don't know where the whatever is, I don't work here. I would have cursed a fair bit during the sentence because I was now shocked at being screamed at. I will let you imagine what colorful words need added in. However, I certainly didn't raise my voice. I would have just dropped the general niceness in it. You're cursing now also? Unbelievable. How dare you use language like that and lie to a customer? You have no respect. All this commotion has attracted a lot of attention as it's a fairly big store and quite busy, so some staff and supervisors have arrived over at this point. I want to speak to the store manager right now. This rude man has lied to me, ignored me, and used awful language at me. I am disgusted at the lack of respect shown to your customers. Store staff say, "All right, our apologies, madam. We will sort this out now. Sir, could you please put those clothes down and leave the store?" No, I want him taken to the manager. He needs to be disciplined and trained how to speak to customers. She is literally screaming into the face of some poor soul right now who has no clue what is going on. I can't really do that, but I'll radio security and ask them to escort him from the store. I would also ask you to lower your voice to not disturb our other customers, please. No, I will address you however I like as I am a customer. Take him to the manager, he needs to be fired. And I will be speaking to the manager about you too. Now the staff have clicked what's happened. Sir, do you know this woman? I have no idea who she is, but she ripped my earphone out of my ear and started to scream at me. And you don't work here? No, I'm just here to buy clothes. He is lying. Where is your manager? Security have now arrived and begin to come towards me. The store staff say, "Hold on, this is a big mix-up. This man doesn't work here. I don't recognize him, and he says he doesn't work here." I don't believe you. You're just defending your friend. I'm disgusted by this store. I will never shop here again. I'm going to report this all to your head office. What are your names? You will all suffer because of this. Blah, 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 etc., etc., etc. From here, the story sort of wraps up. Karen eventually gives up trying to convince the staff and me that I work there and is escorted from the store by the security. I pick up my clothes again, get an apology from the staff, and I get a sweet little discount when I check out. Part of me was convinced this woman would be outside waiting to confront me again. However, to my surprise, she had slinked off into the night, probably to terrorize other young people going about their day. I just kind of wish that the store staff in the beginning, when they got involved, would have been able to address both sides and get the full story from both people before just going straight to, "Okay, sir, please leave the store," and having security already coming prepped to take this guy out when you didn't even know who was actually the problem person here. And our final story of the day is by Vemika Falcon. I promise I'm not here to steal your prices. First time posting anything like this, but I'll try to be as precise as possible. For this story, we'll need to take a trip in the Wayback Machine back to the far-flung realm of 1994. The internet was still a strange and unusual thing. The Super Nintendo and Genesis were on the waning edge of the console cycles, and I, as a 15-year-old, was into it. The high school version of water cooler talk was what games we were playing. Did we know this? Have we tried that? Etc. Coming into the holiday season, I was feeling my inner math geek come to the forefront, as the parents had long since told me about Santa, and instead I was given the directive, "You have this much money for this year's presents. Make it last." Yes, ma'am. As I had not been introduced to any sort of spreadsheet aside from margarine, I had to cobble together 2 sheets of notebook paper, draw out columns and rows, and list out all the games I was interested in for the rows and the stores I was going to check out for the columns. A handcrafted work, but for my eyes at the time, I was pretty proud of it. Cue me tagging along with mom whenever she went shopping, where I'd split off to do my thing and she'd take care of hers. All very neat and tidy for some of the more niche and or departed stores of yesteryear. Looking at you, larger than village of the circuits. All was going well until one fateful day when my parents and I were visiting the Mart of Sprawls, and the following situation occurred. Conversations are paraphrased, given the time frame involved. I will be me, Sales Droid will be SD, and Dad will be Dad. After entering the store, the parents went off to the fabric area to indulge Mom's sewing hobby, while I wandered over to shelf after shelf of electronics goodness. Pulling out my handy chart, I set to work poring over my options, weighing one game here versus 2 there, a grand metagame if you will, to wring every last penny out of my purchases. Only to be stopped dead in my tracks by the bane of shoppers, an empty rack. I wander over to Sales Droid, who was manning the register but not busy at the time. "Excuse me, do you have such and such?" Sales Droid says, "Let's check." We both go back, verify the shelf is empty, nothing in the overflow area beneath the shelves, etc. Drat. I pen down a quick NA in the appropriate box and go back to my task. After a few moments, I become aware that Sales Droid has not gone back to the register, but is standing there staring at me.
"What are you doing?"
"I'm checking prices for my presents."
"Don't do that."
What?
"Don't do that. Competitors aren't allowed to price shop us. It's not allowed."
Whatever, dude. At that point, I excused myself from that aisle and walked several over to the entire row devoted to PC games. Steam was not yet in existence. After a few minutes, I notice movement out of the side of my vision and see Sales Droid standing at the end of the aisle. Checked my other side and Sales Droid's clone was standing at the far end. They walk forward together in tandem and box me in.
"You need to leave the store now."
I was given no room to argue. They just forced me up to the front doors and then stood there to make sure I didn't come back in. Now, at the time, I was old enough to have a learner's permit for driving, so I had my own keys to the car. I go out, sit there for a moment, and fume that my plans for the day were shot. And then a stray thought hits me. My parents knew I was in electronics. If they showed up looking for me in a holiday crush and I was missing, they would absolutely freak out. So I dig in the cup holder for a quarter, march all the way across the parking lot to the gas station on the corner, and reference my handy spreadsheet for the store's phone number. Call into the store and have them paged over the intercom. After 2 pages, they pick up the phone expecting the worst. One of the grandparents is sick. Police are trying to find them to deliver bad news. Something. What they were not expecting was my chipper voice on the other end of the line.
Dad says, Opie, what are you doing on the phone? Where are you?
I'm at the gas station. They kicked me out.
Dad says, what?
I say, yeah. They said I was price shopping for a competitor and kicked me out. And then I hear the words and tone of voice that any kid knows means bad weather on the horizon. Batten down the hatches, Harriet.
Get back here now.
I just about sprinted across the parking lot as that command brooked no room for misinterpretation. Sales Droid and his cohort had already left by the time I got back, so the parents met me at the front door, I explained more fully what happened, and then they walked me back to electronics. Sales Droid must have felt the chill of the grave approaching as he turned around to see me, pointing at him, with Mama Bear and Papa Bear over each shoulder. To say he turned white as a sheet would be an understatement, but without a word, he started walking away from us. The sight of fleeing prey awakened the thrill of the hunt in Mama Bear, so she started chasing him, demanding answers. What happened? Why? Middle of the holiday crush and you kick a kid out of the store where anyone could have been waiting? Up one aisle, this scene unfolds. Down a second and up a third before Sales Droid has hit his limit. In an instant, he whips around on his heels and smarts off to Mama Bear. Insert coin.
Player 2 joins the battle.
Turns out Papa Bears are really protective of their Mama Bears. What followed was a verbal volley so ferocious and three-sided, I had no hope of following all of it. I just knew that what was unfolding before me could charitably be described as tag team mauling. The conversation got so loud and animated that it attracted the store manager, who had to haul everyone into the employees-only area to sort through it all. He talks to me first. I explain what I was doing and hand over my spreadsheet so he can see it. He undoubtedly recognized that I was handing over all his competitors' numbers, as after a moment he handed it back and said there was nothing wrong with it. He even opened that other store managers will come in to do just that. He'll walk around with them, chat, etc. Very straightforward interaction, as he described it. Mom and Dad went next, venting their spleens about the situation, and while it was a bit overdramatic, they still had a pretty good point about kicking a teen out without at least inquiring if a parent is nearby. They weren't demanding compensation, nor did we get any. They just expressed their outrage and disappointment, and they left their cart full of items where it sat to be returned to the shelves. As for Sales Droid, I didn't hear about any fallout from his side, but I can say for a fact that the incident was reported, as about a week later, I got a call out of the blue from the district manager for the store to apologize again on the store's behalf and offer me a challenge of finding a better price than theirs, and they would match it, which is something I took them up on several times. I'm just thinking about how fun it would be to go back to 1994 and be able to go through the electronics section and just see everything. I always just kind of love those windows into the past like that, and having experienced that kind of thing more in the 2000s than the 1990s, I would really love to just get that window into the view of what it was like just a little bit before I was able to really appreciate it. But with that being said, that's all the time we have for today, so if you have a favorite story of the day, let me know which story and why in the comments down below. But besides that, if you enjoyed the video, please consider giving it a like, and if you haven't, subscribe and turn notifications on so you'll never miss an upcoming video. No matter what you do, whether it's just viewing the video, liking, subscribing, turning notifications on, I appreciate the heck out of it. Every little thing that you do helps the channel grow that much more, and I can't thank you enough for it. So until next time, I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I'll be right here next time on the Storytime channel.